Hello and welcome to the Lounge Room Chat. This is a tiny little piece carved out of your day where we get to talk about ways to detox your corporate career. And we cover off things like mindset, mindfulness, stress management, emotional turmoil, physical health and well-being, emotional health and well-being, spiritual connection. And we also explore some of the things that are becoming more and more apparent in our world that things need to change. So today's discussion is about something that's very close to my heart. I'm deeply passionate about seeing this change come about. And I see we've got Katie Garrity. Hi, Katie. I hope I've said your name correctly. Welcome to the Lounge Room Chat. I'm Linda Emslie from Lovlali, and this is the Wednesday lunchtime chat. And oh, Katie, hi. You may have tuned into the wrong session. I don't actually do readings as such, but I know that Leanne Winston, who is a psychic medium, will be on. I think she's on this evening. But you're most welcome to stay and chat if you'd like to talk about changing the current paradigm from fear-based competition, greed rewarding, mindless consumerist base that we operate in, to something that is a lot more feminine, a lot more divinely embracing and encompassing, a paradigm that's based on love, on cooperation, on collaboration, and on rewarding the opportunity to give. The more generous you are, the more rewarded you are. And that is a universal law. That is not just me wishful thinking. So Katie, you are most welcome to stay if you are interested at all in that sort of thing, but do please be mindful, I don't actually give psychic readings, so as much as I would love to put you in touch with grandmother, we would actually need to be in session in a private healing space for that to happen. Okay, so today's conversation is something that is an area where I have often been accused of being naive, of living in a cotton wool wrapped world. And I'm very happy and grateful to live in a cotton wool wrapped world. But more and more, the outside world does impinge, and it does bite, and it does pinch, because let's face it, we do have to live in this reality. And at the moment, this reality is very hard. It's very competition based. I like to call it the dominator paradigm. And I know there are a lot of people who talk about the excess of masculine energy. And yes, there is an excess of masculine energy that dominates our current worldview in the Western society. But it's not just as black and white as male versus female or masculine versus feminine. There is an imbalance in the masculine and feminine energies, and I do want to see that healing occur. But it's not just that the masculine is dominating. It's the fact that the masculine energy itself is wounded and can't operate in its divine capacity as divine masculine. So I call it the dominator paradigm, because really in this current paradigm that we're in, it doesn't really matter whether it's a male or a female at the top of the totem pole. They display the very same characteristics of being, I'm in charge, I'm at the top, more, competition based, I'm going to walk all over the top of you to get there. That whole idea that greed and competition are the only way to get anywhere in this world. So that's why I call this a dominator paradigm, as opposed to being, yes, it's a patriarchy, yes, it's a masculine energy dominated space, but that masculine energy is also wounded. So this is the time for change. This is the time for people like you and me, the Western woman, to step into power, to step into grace, to step into connection with the goddess and bring her forth and start healing that balance of the divine energies, so that the divine feminine comes back into the light, the divine masculine is healed, and we live in that beautiful, organic, dynamic flow of exchange and balance that yin-yang symbol symbolizes, that divine flow of energy. So now there's There's another comment come through. I'm not very good at scrolling. Oh, yes, here we go. So that is the premise of today's discussion and why I think we need to start making change. So if there are comments or questions that you would like to make, please share them. If you want to have a bit of a chin wag about this, there is a guest link. Hey Adair, great to see you here. I was just saying there is a guest link in the description above this video. If you want to pop in and have a proper chin wag, I can invite you in as a guest. And the topic under discussion today is time to change our paradigm. This is an area where I feel very passionate, very strong about this. This change must come about. We need to do it, not just because womankind has been repressed for hundreds of centuries. It's not just that, and I'm talking hundreds of centuries, because it has been thousands of years, let's face it, thousands of years in a patriarchal society that has led to womankind being downtrodden and has unbalanced those beautiful energies. So even the divine masculine doesn't recognize itself. It no longer exists. It's been split in half, so only the strong, dominating capacity of it is in place at the moment. And we need to fix that, because humankind itself cannot heal itself and live in a sane mindset without both the masculine and the feminine in their perfectly divine embodied essence. Okay, so does anyone want to contribute to this, because it is such a broad ranging topic, and I know my experience is I always want to see a softening of our exchange, a gentle change of our process. And when I walk into male dominated environments, I get patted on the head, I get patronized, patted on the head and told that I'm naive. But it's really heartening to know that in my naivety, I'm not alone, and that there are hundreds, thousands, if not millions of women. Thank you, Adair. And hello, welcome, Bev. Great to see you here. Thanks for taking time to join me. And hey, excellent, Adair. I'd love to have you in for a chat. This would be awesome. It is time to change. So a lot of these masculine dominated environments that I have been in, where I get patronized and told I'm very naive and that I work in a cotton wool shrouded world, if I think, or, you know, wearing rose colored glasses, if I think that there's any other way to do business other than compete, 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 live in fear, be greedy and hard, and, you know, it's just not the way to operate. There is more than enough. We live in an abundant universe. We live in an exquisitely gorgeous world. Have you ever stopped long enough to look at how beautiful this world is? If you ever stop and take 5 minutes to look at the world around you and just allow your senses to drink it in, you will know at your deepest soul level that we are surrounded by abundance and that we are loved and living each day as a gift. And that's all there is. Each day is a gift, and that enables us to fill the heart with gratitude. That gratitude needs to spill out and spread and ripple out and heal the people who think that we're living in scarcity, in lack. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people in this world who do live in extreme scarcity and lack day to day with the material needs they need to live and survive. I get that. I understand that. I see that. I don't have a quick and easy answer to that, other than to say we actually have enough for everybody, and it is fear and greed that is causing the situation where there are so many millions of people living in lack. And Sue Folly, yes, the nurturing female and the hunting male. Absolutely. And some of the other really noble qualities of the divine masculine, that protector, that provider, yes, that person who can be fiercely competitive and protective. All of those qualities are vital, but when they're out of balance, they are dangerous. And it's the same with the feminine energy as well. When those beautiful characteristics of feminine energy, of nurturing, of embracing, of gathering and harvesting, when they're out of balance and they become needy or dependent or seeking, then it causes just as much damage. So the healing does need to be in balance in both energies. And we also need to acknowledge, and will benefit from acknowledging, that each of us contain both. We are not exclusively feminine or exclusively masculine. We all embody both energies. So accept and embrace. And I see I have Adair Palmer in the lobby, and I'm going to bring her in. So we'll just let that happen. Hello, Adair.
Hello, Linda. How are you?
Good, thanks. I've just been sitting here wondering to myself, wonder why my name's not showing. Probably because I clicked the button.
Hit show and it will pop up. What an amazing
that one.
Wow.
And thank you, Bev. Yes, you know, that need to acknowledge both energies within each individual. We each embody masculine and feminine. So the healing begins within, and then we take it out. And so, Adair, something I said earlier obviously has impassioned you to join me in the conversation today.
Well, there was two things that you said, actually. Like, just about everything you say, I want to jump in and have a conversation with you because you're so full of great stuff. The two things, one was a paradigm shift, and I thought that's really interesting too, because having that was the first thing. The second thing was when you talked about the masculine energy as we know it traditionally is not the masculine energy as it exists spiritually. Mm-hmm. And that was something that I've just gone, oh, it's like the penny drop. Wow, because I'm coming from an environment that was very testosterone fueled and very masculine, like very male dominated. To me, that was the equation of the masculine energy, but it's actually not. So I just got this insight, was like, wow, it's much more than that. It is the strength without that whole dog-eat-dog competitive stuff that you're saying is missing. It's that real, I mean, or am I wrong? I guess it's like linking that back to the paradigm shift to see how I can see it differently.
Okay. So no, you're not wrong.
Double negative.
I'm going to try muting you just for a moment because I'm getting feedback, and so now I can unmute you to speak. So unless you've got some techno guidance to give me on how to stop this feedback.
I have.
Cool.
It's me, I think. I need to shut down my browsers.
Okay, well, I will continue talking.
Can you hear me now? Is it?
Yeah. Yes,
okay.
I can hear you perfectly.
Do you have feedback now?
No feedback. It's all good.
Thank you. Cool.
So now, you're not wrong in your interpretation of what I said, and I think that's where a lot of us go astray and get caught in this whole masculine versus feminine. And when I talk about bringing the energies back into balance, it doesn't mean exchanging feminine for masculine. Yeah. It actually means bringing the feminine back into the light so that it's honoured, so that it's acknowledged, so that it's respected, because we lost that. We lost our honour, our position of respect, and feminine intelligence is no longer respected or understood. And even women in ourselves, we find it very hard to acknowledge the feminine intelligence because it is so instinctual. And because we live in that beautiful world of walking between two worlds, where we are the conduit between spirit and the everyday world, where we do hear their voice, where we do bring goddess through into the practical world, because science doesn't understand that, and because we have lost our voice over thousands of years, that level of intelligence is no longer understood or respected by women or by men. So we need to reclaim that in ourselves and bring that back to the light so that it is acknowledged and understood and respected in much the way that tribal elders need to be respected again. The tribal elders have, in Indigenous cultures, they are still respected, but in Western society, what do we do with our tribal elders?
Oh, we stick them in nursing homes.
A nursing home. So, here we go. Let's see. I've just got some comments come through. The beautiful Lorraine's here. And she says, through vision, I was introduced to masculine energy. I felt strong and calming and balance of energy. I feel true balance of inner being. Absolutely. When we come to acknowledge that each of us embodies both energies and be able to embrace those, then we function as a whole person. And that's exactly what we need to do in our society, is to acknowledge that both of those energies exist, that we need to heal aspects of both of those energies and bring forward the feminine in particular, because she has been out in the cold for way too long. We need to bring this mystic, this magic, this magnetic quality of the goddess back into mainstream to heal us all. No? And this is what I mean by the paradigm shift. The paradigm shift is step out of fear, step into love. At the bottom line, that's what the paradigm shift is. And so when I talk about fear, sorry.
I was going to say on a practical level, and I've got some reverb on my side too now. So on a practical level, it is something that, for me, all the knowledge that I invested in my career, like several degrees, including a master's and that far off a PhD, that's, to me, now I'm thinking about it in the context of what you're saying, that's the masculine energy, because the knowledge is like the human knowledge that's all been assembled and amassed from external sources that I was soaking up. But the feminine energy is to actually go inside and tap into the knowledge and the wisdom that I have already inside me and focus more on that. I mean, that knowledge no one can take away from me. I've done my years of that. So seriously, 25 years of study. But
that's never wasted.
Yeah. But that's really interesting, because that's another insight. So thank you, because that's so it does. And I had some healing not long ago, and I'm always having healing because I love it, and it's all healing is so healing. But and that was one thing that that the beautiful Annie did say, was that it is actually to tap into the feminine energy. And I thought I'd been doing that by walking out of a toxic corporate career and then setting up my own, environment to operate in. And I think I have to agree. But what you're saying today is I can go further down that path.
Yeah, it's interesting. And it's like any healing process. This is a healing process. It's layer by layer by layer. As we start making that change and seeing the possibility for change, we get the opportunity to change even more. And once we've done that, there's more layers that come away and show us there's a deeper way to move through this, that I can make a more profound change in the world around me, and that's going to ripple out. And this whole idea that you put forth there on Facebook of collaborate, that is part of the new paradigm. This is the way of new business. It's not compete. It's not there's not enough for all of us and I've got to hoard everything over here and not tell you what I'm doing. That it's an abundant universe. There is enough for all of us. And the sooner we start really understanding that at a visceral level, the easier it is for us to actually do it, be practical about it.
And when we're brought up with that environment, because we don't know, it's like fish being in water, we don't know that there's other stuff out there. And it is actually when you first start, and it was for me when I first started coming out of that environment, seeing that whole paradigm shift, there is something else out there and there's a different way of being. It's terrifying. And I still actually, because you're leaving that comfort of the discomfort of what you know, and it takes a huge leap of faith to come out to go, if I am vulnerable, if I choose to collaborate, I'm, you know, because in the other paradigm, you would get eaten alive. But in this paradigm, it's actually safe, and it's a much nicer place to be. But I can still feel sometimes those fears come up, but I'm aware of them now, and I don't let them eat me.
Yeah. And Lorraine's saying empowering each other to shine our divine light. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that is, you've hit the nail on the head there, Lorraine, in saying that
we're not for that.
Hashtag nodding.
Hashtag nodding.
You call it the hashtag and I'll
nod. That's teamwork.
And that's exactly it, you know. There is enough for all of us, and we are able to be there for each other. That's the whole premise behind it. We're all here for exactly the same reason, and that's to experience life on this earth and to grow our soul learning. So let's enjoy it. We may as well enjoy it while we're here. Yeah. So many times I've been patted on the head and said, yeah, off into your la-la land, off you go. But I do want to put a little word of warning out there that as you start moving into this new way of being, as you really start embracing this idea of collaborate, of share, of working from a place of love, the old paradigm is feeling the energetic shift. And the old paradigm doesn't like it, and it does whack you in the face. And you will run into brick walls. You will feel like you've been hit over the head by a ton of bricks on days when this particular paradigm goes, I don't actually like what you're doing. I'm going to stop you. Yeah. And it shows up in many different ways. But all I can say is it means that you're having an effect, so keep going. And
it's like the universe says, how bad do you want this?
And there's that too. There is also that too. The universe is checking in, saying, well, are you serious? Are you serious? Amber is saying the universe has our back. We are the universe ultimately, losing and letting go of fear. That's, spot on. I'll hide that one. I'm getting used to this whole driving the bus.
Oh, look at
that. A whole new world ahead, new times, old falling away. Absolutely. And with, you know, if you want to think about this in terms of birthing the new, for those who have been through actual childbirth and labour, you will understand that it's not easy. There is pain to go through. But coming through the other side, it's worth it. Yeah. So we do need to rekindle the sisterhood. We don't need to bring back the old sisterhood. What we need is the goddess for the new age to come through, and for us to honour that we have the wisdom within our DNA, that what we are picking up intuitively and how we interpret it and bring it forth is exactly what's needed right now. So trust your intuition, go with your gut, connect with your sisters. And when I say sisters, I'm not excluding men. There are men out there who are deeply in touch with their feminine energy, and they feel this shift too, and they are in just as much pain as we are. So our sisterhood extends to those men who have embraced the goddess. Yeah. So, okay, and Amber is saying, or we run into brick people. Yeah, I think that might have been harking back to my brick wall. Yeah. Yes, there are brick people out there. Yeah. And they are just as deserving of our healing as anyone else.
Yeah. Or if you depending on how strong you're feeling, because I've run into brick people and I've had to leave them, you know, in terms of for my own sense of safety.
Yes.
You know, when you're on the healing path, I think there's going to come a time where, and there are people that I can help along as well, but just some people, and particularly people that are in a position of perceived power in relation to where I am, and that's normally where I come unstuck. So that's that's
and that really is harking back to that old pattern, isn't it? Of
it is
where you've come from.
Yes. Absolutely. So trying to lose those shackles.
the really, really cool thing about healing is it's not constrained by time and space.
Yeah.
And how do I get rid of that feedback?
Have you, is it happening for you? So if it's happening for you, it's probably on my end. You can turn the volume down a little bit, and sometimes using headphones stops it as well. If you have,
I walked off with my headphones and I'm not sure what I've done with them.
maybe if I put them in.
It seems to be coming and going.
Yeah. I'll drop out anyway, let you wind up, because with one person you don't generally get the feedback. So I'll go and let you wind up. But thank you for that conversation. I always learn something new and have little insights and shifts in perspective and the paradigm shift. So really appreciative of that. Thank you, Linda. I do have to go and get ready for community TV with the dear. So
okay. Thank you. So yeah, what I was just saying was the really cool thing about healing is it's not constrained by time or space. It is. It is, it is, it is. So when you are far enough along in your own healing process that you are able to come to a place of forgiveness for the lesson that you learned with those brick people and are able to extend love and healing to them, then that is perfect timing. You don't need to do it at the point of contact if you're not in a position of safety, integrity, and wholeness in self. If you're not feeling centered in yourself, that is not the time to do it. But healing is not constrained by time or space. So whenever is the right time for you to do that forgiveness work, to do that little bit of soul retrieval from when you had that point of contact or impact with a brick person, that's the perfect time for you to send healing to that situation. Okay, so just checking that I have, there's another comment here. Oop, I can't see what I'm doing. Amber is saying that we are one. I have been a brick person in situations, compassion for others, perhaps allowing that person their lesson. Absolutely. And, you know, our journey is so intricate and is so complex. Why would we want to mess it up even further by living in fear and holding ourselves in place, in a place of discomfort, when there's so much that our soul wants to embrace and understand? So if we can unshackle ourselves from a fear-based paradigm and move into a love-based paradigm, it's not only going to be good for our soul journey, you can see the ripple effect for this is going to change our mindless consumerist behaviour so that we're going to save the planet as well. Because if we continue down this pathway of there is only one way, and that is to reward greed, to reward ruthlessness, to continue with the more, better, best attitude towards things, material things that are really quite meaningless, we are not just killing ourselves, we are killing our planet. So the sooner we can actually make this shift, the sooner we start healing humanity, but we save our beautiful world. There's nothing else out there that's like this. Well, that, you know, that we've discovered yet, although I did see something on the ABC last night, which I didn't get to watch because it was my bedtime, about looking for second Earth. How exciting would that be? But we have an exquisite jewel of a planet that we take for granted. We were gifted life on this planet. How are we honouring this gift? So we're coming close to the end of my 30-minute segment. And you've been in the lounge room today with Linda Emslie from Lovlali, talking about something that is deeply passionate, and we must bring this change. We must. It is incumbent upon us as Western women, as healers, as entrepreneurs coming from a heart-centered base, to make that change. We've already started making the change by looking for a different way of doing things. We can extend that exploration and start showing, demonstrating modeling to our children, to our family, to our friends, to our colleagues. There is a better way, and we are finding it. Yes, it's trial and error along the way. Yes, we're going to fall over and skin our knees. Yes, we're going to run into brick walls, but we're going to help each other up, have each other's back. And I'm scrolling up. Oh, what a brick. Good question, Bev. What are brick people? Now, my understanding of that particular terminology, which I think Amber may have put up, is that they're totally immovable, like running into a brick wall, but running into a brick person instead. So like an obstruction, like someone who has a completely opposing point of view to you, and they're just not prepared to admit any leeway or possibility of there being a different way. Amber, would you like to pop on briefly? We can squeeze an extra couple of minutes if you'd like, if you want to explain a little more clearly what you mean by brick people. And I'm glad you're enjoying the conversation, Amber. I'm really passionate about this. It's time for change. I want to see this change for my children. I'm the mother of 4 girls, so you can see why I want this change for my children. It's time for us to change. So we absolutely do have a beautiful planet. We do. And Amber, if you did want to jump on in, there's a guest link in the description above the video. If you just click on that, it'll bring you into the lobby section here, and I can add you in, and we can and wrap up our conversation here by answering Bev's question about what are brick people, because I've given my perspective of what I think they are. And Amber, I've just seen your comment there. You got it. I'm assuming that's about brick people. So just let me know if you do want to come in and have a chat. You're more than welcome to join in. Bev, did that answer your question clearly? If you want to come in and talk about it a bit more, the link is just above the video in the description. You're more than welcome to join in as a guest. So if there are no further comments and everybody's feeling complete with that answer, I am happy to sign off. I would love to talk about this till the cows come home, because it's time to change. It's time for us to not only acknowledging, Amber, you're saying 100% opposing thinking. Yeah, diametrically opposed to you and not prepared to shift. And we also need to be very careful that we don't become the brick person in that sort of setting as well. That when we do encounter people who are 100% opposing our view, that we don't also become obstinate and a block, because that's where the energy then gets stuck, and we actually contribute then to the maintenance of the existing paradigm. So it's important for us to acknowledge. The first step is to acknowledge and to see when you're in a position like that. The second step is to take a breath and then choose a response to what's happening there for you. Okay, so Bev is saying, I have someone like that in my life. There have been big problems. Yeah. Look, Bev, if you want to pop on for a quick 15-minute obligation-free chat to have a look at, explore this challenge for you a bit, just pop a comment below, Freedom, and I'll get in touch with you and we can organise an obligation-free chat to have a look at this in a little bit more depth for you, because certainly, you know, the public lounge room possibly isn't the place. And Amber, you're saying rise, trust, compassion. Yep, absolutely. Trust in self, trust in your intuition, trust in the universe. I'm getting goosebumps here. You've really nailed it there, Amber. It's trust, okay, to really bring this paradigm through. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, trust the universe. The universe is wanting, is providing the gift of life here for us. What we choose to do with it, how we honour that gift, is where we need to make the change. Allow you to come on. Okay. Oh, hang on. I missed the comment before that. Just a moment. Mine does not allow me to come on. Oh, Amber, I'm sorry. We might have to have a little chat in the background. Maybe we can have this, carry this conversation over to next week. Bev is saying that she wants to change things for family and understands. Okay, if you've got enough information to start making that shift, that's fantastic. If you'd like to take up the opportunity to talk further, it's there, okay? Whenever you want to, just put your hand up. Yes, we are here on purpose, absolutely. I'm getting so many goosebumps with the end of this conversation. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of the conversation today, Amber and Bev, Sue, Adair, Lorraine. It's been gorgeous to talk with you all. Just checking through that I've covered, that there haven't been any other questions slipped through. I think I got them all. But Amber, let's work out how we can connect. If you'd like to come on and chat next week, I can actually send you a guest link so that we can do that. Okay, I've gone 5 minutes over my 30-minute time slot. Lovely to have your contribution, Amber. Thank you so much. Bev, all the very best with your exploration on how to work further with the block that's showing up in your family right now. Just understand that you know exactly what you're doing. You have everything that you need within you. Okay? And many blessings to you all. I look forward to continuing this conversation next week because it's too important to leave it to 30 minutes only. Okay? I'm Linda Emslie from Lovlali. This has been the Lounge Room Chat at lunchtime. Thank you so much for your beautiful company today. Your presence is divine. Don't ever lose sight of that. I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Thank you. Bye for now.